Hi folks, today I'm going to demonstrate writing an assembly program using the assembly emulator. So I have it already open here. The first thing I'm going to do is go change the view a little bit. I like to show all of the color coding for the registers at the bottom, and I like to view it in decimal instead of hex. So that's the first thing I'm going to do to set everything up. Very next thing I'm going to do is modify the header because every program you write should have a header that reflects what it is, who you are, when it was written, what it's supposed to do, and any sources. So I'm going to put modified from example code. And just to be really complete, that I'm giving credit to where you can find the example code. But what I'm going to have this program do, kind of similar to the ones I've been assigning, but not exactly the same, so you can see the process, is read a string, change all vowels to zeros. Okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to change this variable. Instead of being hello world, I am going to make it apples. There we go. Lovely. Apples. I'm going to say that my program will do everything in lowercase. You are free to make some restrictions like that on your programs as well. Hello doesn't really make a lot of sense for a variable name anymore, so maybe I will try no vowels. Okay, that's descriptive at least. No vowels. I'm going to leave 0 as the string terminator. And down here in our start section, instead of hello being the thing I need to find at the beginning of, I need no vowels to be the thing that I find the beginning of. All right, and then if you remember from before, this section will set up my variable in the beginning of RAM up here. This line will point to where that variable is. This line sets up the beginning of D for the output section. This gets me down into my print function. So down here, I'm still going to need this move 0 into B because I am still using 0 as my string terminator. That's how I will know when I've reached the end. And this loop currently is set up to just print whatever my variable is to the output. So let's, before I do anything else, check and make sure that I haven't broken anything, because it's a good thing to check. I break things all the time. So you can see the variable ended up right here. You can see it going to the output section down below and showing up in output up here. And we reached the 0 terminator at the end and we stopped. Excellent. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need some way in this loop section to check if I have a vowel. In other programming languages, like when we did Python, you would use an if statement. Assembly does not have an if statement, so we have to think what we have that we can use to make decisions or move around in our program, and what we have is those jump commands. And so, for example, here we compare to see if it's a 0, and if it is not, we keep going. If it is, we know we're done and we can continue. So right in here would be a good place, a good candidate for check if character is a vowel. Okay, and if it is a vowel, well, if it's not a vowel, we want to keep going. So if vowel, jump to, well, we don't necessarily need to jump. We do need to jump. If a vowel is found, we need to print a 0 instead. So let's take this one piece at a time. First, I need to check if it's a vowel. I'm not going to check for all of the vowels at the same time because that is not something assembly knows how to do. So I'm going to start actually with looking for an A. Check if the character is an A. So this means that we're going to compare two things. And what are we going to compare? Well, where is our character right now? It's in A, right? Here we moved the character we're looking at into A. I actually think I've put this stuff in the wrong place. I think it's going to have to go in here. All right, we'll come back to that. Once I have this thing that I want to look at, the compare that's going to happen is I'm going to compare A and what? How will I know whether I'm looking at the letter A? So we have to remember what these things actually are. They're not characters right now, they're values. Here, the letter A is the number 97. So where did that come from? That came from ASCII. Let's get ourselves an ASCII table. There it is. Okay, so the letter A, and I said I was going to do everything in lowercase, is the number 97 right here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to compare A and the number 97. That kind of cut and dried. If they are the same, what do I want to happen? That's what's going to be right here. So I need to, instead of jumping if they are not the same, I want to jump if they are the same. So let's go look at our instruction set and see what that would look like. Here are our jumps. So jump if there's no 0, the 0 is false. So here we compared, and if they are not the same, we go back. Okay, here we want to jump if they are the same, but we need to jump somewhere new. So we're going to jump to this new function called vowel that I haven't written yet, that we're going to write right now. Okay, so writing a function in this interface is pretty cut and dried. We're going to go dot vowel colon, and on a new line, this is going to be what we want to happen. So what do we want to happen? We want to move into where D is pointing. And what do we want to put there? We want to put the number 0. So what does the number 0 look like on the ASCII table? Let's go find it. The number 0 is a 48. So what does this look like? This looks like output 0. And then when I have finished that printing out of the 0, what do I want to happen next? So this is where we need to think about where we are kind of in the process. So let's watch what happens, because I'm pretty sure I put some things in the wrong place. So I have got the letter A and put it in the A register. I should now compare it and see if it's a vowel. And if it is a vowel, I'm going to go print it out. Okay. If it's not a vowel, I will print out whatever it is instead. And then I will increase C, increase D. Okay, so it seems like what I really want is I want to jump back to right here. Maybe I'll call it resume. As soon as this is done. So what I need now is jump no matter what. Let's see, do we have a jump no matter what? Jump address, there it is. Jump, and where do I want to jump? I want to jump to resume. Get back into loop. All right, let's see how many things I broke by doing that. So we are going to reset, and I could just hit run, but I'm going to hit step so we can watch what's happening. So first up, I have saved apples into the RAM right there and put a 0 terminator at the end. Good. And now I have C pointing at the beginning of my no vowels variable. And now D is pointing to the beginning of the output section. Now I'm jumping down into print. I'm going to put 0 into B so that I can make sure I have something to compare that string terminator to, and I'll start my loop. So now I am moving whatever is in C up into A. I am going to compare A to the number 97. And what did we find? We got 0 was true. So we should now, if it's a vowel, we should jump down into the vowel line. And we did, hooray. Okay, that part worked, yay. So now we're gonna take the number 48, which remember is a 0 in ASCII, and put it where D is pointing, where D is pointing. So here's the number 48, where D is pointing, and there is the 0 in my output section. Next up, I should jump back to resume. And indeed I did. I'm now going to increase C to look at the next character in the line. Now I'm going to increase D to move to my next output spot. I'm going to compare to see if what I am looking at now is a 0, which is our string terminator, so that we know we're done. Okay, it's not a 0, so we should go back to the beginning of the loop. Good. And now we will move that 112 for the lowercase p up into the A register. And now we will compare what's in A to the number 97 to see if we have a letter A. We do not have a letter A. You can see that 0 flag is false. So we should move right on down the line. There we go. So now we're taking what's in A, putting it where D is pointing. There's our lowercase p, and we'll continue. I'm just going to hit the steps so that we can see what happened. And we are now at the end of our string. So we're pointing at that 0, we're comparing. We're going to see, yes, indeed, there goes our 0 flag. It is going to not jump to the top of the loop. We're going to continue, return, oops, if I hit the right button, return and halt. So that is the end of our program. So right now, this program doesn't change all vowels to 0. It changes all A's to 0. So what would I do if I wanted to do an additional letter? So I would pick the next vowel, maybe, doesn't really matter what order you go in, A, E, and so I'm going to do kind of the same process. So right here, I'm going to compare A to the lowercase e, which is 101. Check if character is an E. And if I do have an E, what do I want to happen? I want to jump down to vowel. Okay. So this time I'm going to hit reset. That should be all the changes we need to change both the A and the E in apples into zeros. So I'm just going to hit run and we'll see what happens. There's our first 0, P, P, L, 0, S, and we're done. Awesome. So could I continue on and do this for the rest of the vowels? Absolutely. But I'm betting you have the idea by now. I'm going to stop right there. Hopefully this helps in you making your own programs. Please remember to give yourself an accurate and updated header. Please remember to comment what you change as you go. This is about the amount of comments I want to see in an assembly program. Okay? You guys can let me know if you have any questions. When you're all done, you're going to submit this as a text file. Thank you.